Melbourne is set to break a December heat record with a revised top now raising serious health fears and putting emergency services on red alert. Justine Conway is tonight at the Weather Bureau. Justine, it'll be a day of extreme danger.
Absolutely, Tony. The Bureau has increased the city's forecast maximum to 44 degrees. And we haven't had a day that hot in Melbourne since Black Saturday when it hit 46.4. And there'll be no escaping the heat around town. Geelong and Melton are also set to reach 44. The lowest forecast maximum is 38 in Mount Dandenong. And these extreme conditions are particularly dangerous, with heat responsible for more deaths than any other weather events combined. Today, paramedics, Tony, have been called to at least 8 reports of children locked in cars. Luckily, none of them had to be treated.
And while it was fairly mild in Melbourne today, there's been no relief in the state's northwest, where we find Mark Santomartino. Mark, Mildura is on track for an all-time record.
A scorching 47 degrees is predicted tomorrow, Tony. 47.2 is Mildura's hottest day on record, according to the Bureau. I've spoken to some locals today who say it's been hotter than that before modern measurements. That is up for debate. What is not up for debate is that tomorrow the state's west will be in an extreme fire danger rating. Of course, take every precaution possible. While Melbourne did get a bit of relief today with a cool change, it was oppressive here in Mildura. It is still 45 degrees and it's only going to drop down to 27 overnight. For an already drought-stricken town, there was no reprieve. Mildura nudged 45 degrees late this afternoon, but jumping in the Murray to cool off wasn't an option, with blue-green algae levels at red alert.
They can still camp on the river, they can still go fishing. Probably wouldn't want to eat the fish at this stage, but yeah, it'd be a pretty hot ask to be able to sit on the riverbank and not be able to have a swim.
The algae was threatening the town's water supply earlier in the week after infecting both of the town's water treatment plants.
At this time of the year, the outbreak itself is unusual. A hiccup, but everything's back to normal now.
Come sunrise, Mildura will be on track to shatter its all-time heat record of 47.2 degrees, with Swan Hill, Horsham, Echuca, Warrnambool and Albury all pushing mid to high 40s.
This is not a regular summer. This is unusually hot. We're doing everything we can to prepare. What are you doing?
Frank DeMasi is buying extra water at a huge cost to keep his irrigated grapes growing.
It just helps to bring the temperature down and creates a bit of humidity that if it gets too hot and anything that's exposed will be damaged. Once it's damaged, it's history. There's no coming back from that. It's a total loss.
Mark Santomartino, 9 News.
At Dakin, we believe we have the best air anywhere and push our technology out of its comfort zone. So talk to a Dakin specialist to have Australia's #1 air conditioner in your home. Dakin, the best air anywhere.
Hello again from the Bureau of Meteorology, where we've been getting all the latest on tomorrow's extreme heat. And it's been a mild day in between two scorches. The city reached 23 degrees today, so 17 degrees cooler than yesterday, and what looks like being 21 degrees cooler than tomorrow. Southerly breezes are still with us after last night's cool change, and they've kept maximums to the low 20s through the south. But further north, Epping and Yarra Glen reached 28. But these southerly breezes are not particularly strong, and they've had little or no impact at all north of the ranges. There's been widespread maximums in the 40s in that part of the state. Mildura broke its December heat record with a top of 45.2. In South Australia, the town of Nullarbor reached 50 today. Ceduna and Port Augusta were 1 degree behind, and Adelaide's maximum of 45.3 broke its December heat record. Tomorrow it's forecast to be even hotter, heading for 46 degrees. It'll be Hobart's hottest day of the week, 33. Canberra is set to reach 44. Sydney hit 39 today, but a gusty southerly change moved through, so it's only expected to get to 26 tomorrow. Brisbane is heading for 33, and in the west a top of 27 on the way for Perth. Now to Victoria. A total fire ban is in place right across the state. There are extreme fire danger ratings for the southwest and Wimmera districts. Victoria's hottest December day on record was 46.6 in 1976. That was recorded in Robinvale, but that looks like falling tomorrow, with many locations likely to break records. Most of the state is forecast to climb above 40 degrees, but if you are looking to escape the heat, Gippsland looks like the best bet. Maximums there are only set to reach the 30s. A cool change will move in from the southwest tomorrow afternoon. There's the risk of thunderstorms with the change, but there'll be very little rain, so there is the possibility of some lightning strikes sparking up bushfires. Before that arrives, all Melbourne suburbs, with the exception of those around Mount Dandenong, are forecast to reach the low to mid 40s. 44 degrees for Geelong, 42 in Rosebud and Yarra Glen. And this is how we're expecting it to play out in the city. It'll drop to a minimum of 14 around 6 a.m. And then when the sun comes out, it'll start climbing up to 22 by 9 a.m. Then in the next 3 hours, it'll really take off, climbing to 36 by midday. It should hit 41 by 3 o'clock with the maximum of 44 around 5 or 6 p.m. But then we'll have to wait until at least 9 p.m. for the cool change. And it should drop temperatures by 10 to 15 degrees over half an hour. And after that, it'll be a return to mild conditions. 20 on Saturday, 22 on Sunday and Monday, up to 23 on Christmas Eve, 28 on Christmas Day. And the Boxing Day test looks like it'll get off to a dry start with a forecast top of 23. But first, Tony, we need to get through tomorrow. Stay safe.
All right, that's wise advice, Justine. Thanks for that. That's our news for this Thursday. Have yourself a terrific evening. Stay cool tomorrow. Good night.